Hello viewers, I am Sujoy, the creator of Xatocode, the world's only ultimate best Excel macro automation and standardization tool. I have a heavy Excel file in front of me which has 100,000 rows and it has data up till column AF. The size of the file is around 46 MB. This is due to the fact that the file is loaded with formulas. We will try to reduce the size of the file by replacing the formulas with Excel macro. All the formulas here are for demonstration purpose and they don't hold any special meaning. So now let's get started. I will import some functions from code repository. So locate column header in sheet and get current region starting given cell. Let's go to the code window. You can see the functions which I have just downloaded. Let me add my own module and rename it as modmain. As a standard practice, you need to put option explicit. Now let's look at any one of the formula. Let me create a procedure. I will create few range variables. So as you can see, this formula depends on unit sold and unit price. So what I'll do is I'll create dim RNG Now I'm going to use one of the functions that I downloaded, which is LocateColumnHeaderInSheet. And prior to that, let me rename this sheet. I will rename it as SHT data. And the name of the column header and display error message. So I'll make it true. So in case the header is not found, it will display an error message of its own. There you go, you have unit sold and unit price. So by the name itself you can understand locate column header in sheet. So it will locate the header by its name and return you the range. And after that I need a loop for each. Okay, I need another variable. Before this, one more thing I need to do, which is I have to take an offset 1 because this is where the data starts from. I have to exclude the header and start working on the data. And now what I will do is I will use another function get current region starting given cell, which I downloaded, and RNG total revenue I'll pass as a parameter. And what does RNG total revenue holds? It holds the header total revenue and an offset 1. So this is the starting point. Now get current region starting given cells dot columns 1 dot cells. Yeah, next. Now I'll start the calculation. Now RNG total revenue dot value equals to, and what is the formula? I2 into H2. unit sold into unit price. So it's pretty simple. So what you need is RNG unit sold into RNG unit price. Dot value is by default, so you can put or you can ignore, it doesn't matter. This is the default property. So for the sake of brevity and for the sake of saving some typing effort, I will just ignore the value part. The next thing I need to do is I need to move to the next row. So set RNG total revenue equals to RNG offset 1. You can do the same with the other two. Unit sold equals to unit sold dot offset 1. I just made a copy of this column so that I will be able to compare it once the macro runs. So let me delete this value and I will just go to the code window. Okay, now I am going to run it step by step. So what does RNG total revenue hold? Let me see. So these parameters will give you the complete address, including the name of the workbook, the sheet, and the range. So it is J2. So this is the range. So now I'll go ahead. There you go. It will give you a very descriptive error message in case the header is not found. Unit sold is not found. Okay, great. Let me end this and let me see unit sold. Okay, so sorry, it is units sold. So there is an S. What I'll do is, yeah, now once again I will run it. And now let me show what this does. And see, this is the range it selects till the end. Now let's step into the calculation. So RNG total revenue equals to RNG unit price into RNG unit sold. Yeah, you get the value here. I'll simply run this now. Oops, I had to press Control pause break because it was taking huge amount of time to execute. So let me speed up the process. So what I usually do is I declare a variable called BLN screen updating. Another variable I declare which is called calculation. So you can check out what does this value hold. So this is an integer value, so I have to declare it as an integer. So what I am essentially doing here is that I'll be disabling the screen updating. So for those of you who do advanced VBA programming, they know that if you disable the screen updating, it makes processing faster. Similarly, you have to disable the calculation and once again enable it. In other words, you have to change the calculation to manual and then make it automatic at the end. So this will be an integer variable. So this will be in calculation. So the reason I am doing this is that I am holding the original value so that it can be restored at the end. This is a good programming practice. You don't want to change the Excel user settings. Now let me simply execute this. Before that, I will just clear the data. Let me put a breakpoint and execute the code. This time it took around 2 seconds to execute. We can now compare the values. Yeah, this is the formula and this is the calculated value. So we can get rid of this column. Now let me go back to the code. Let's stop this. Now I'm going to make a very minor change and let me rename this function as 1. So instead of this offset, there is another way to do it. So this is yet another way you can write the code. Let me put a breakpoint here and once again I will execute the same code with a little bit of change here. Now let's execute this and see the output. Again we got the same output with a little bit change in the code. So whichever way suits you, you can use it. Now let's automate this demo one. So I'll quickly make a copy of this. But before that, I'll show you one more trick. So sub calculate all, you can create this function and you can call all the procedures from within this. So now I'm going to create a demo one. So calculate demo one is the function that I'm going to create now. And now one more change you can do is you can remove the piece of code from here and take it to the parent function. And I will just get rid of this function for the time being, or I'll comment this out. So this is the size of the new function now. So I'll just copy this and replace demo one with this. Yeah, now let us check the formula for demo one. It is same as the formula for total revenue, but just instead of a multiplication you have a addition sign over here. So I'll keep everything as it is. I'll just replace the sign here. Now let me execute this function. Before that, let me simply remove this. So this is not total revenue, this will be demo one. And also I need to point it to demo one. Yeah. Now you can see that I had replaced the formulas with macro. And now let's check the size of the file. So earlier it was 46 MB. Now if I were to replace all the formulas and just let me copy and paste it as values. Now I'm going to save this workbook. The size of the file has reduced by more than 33%. Viewers, I have seen in many cases how automation can reduce the size of a file from 50 MB to even less than 5 MB. Once again, let me show you the final piece of code so that you can just eyeball through it. This is the function calculate all, and inside this I am calling these two functions which I had written. So this is not too complicated. With the help of Xatocode and little bit of automation, you can accomplish many things. If you like this video, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will leave some useful information in the description. Kindly leave your comments, I will respond to those. Thanks for watching.